Hi, it's Angela here, and I'm back again with another video in our series on menopause. And in today's video, I want to just talk about reframing menopause and the way we look at it. Now, I'm going to read two different statements to you, and let's just see what the difference of them in both of them is. The first statement: menopause is not a natural condition. It is an endocrine disorder that should be treated medically and with the same seriousness as we treat other endocrine disorders, such as diabetes or thyroid disease. Now, that was written by a doctor in 1996 and was published in the Philadelphia Inquirer. Now, let's listen to another definition. The joy of menopause is the world's best kept secret. Like venturing through the gateway to enter the ancient temple, in order to claim that joy, a woman must be willing to pass through beyond the monsters who guard its gates. As thousands of women from all cultures throughout history have whispered to each other, it is the most exciting passage a woman ever makes. So that was written in a book called Passage to Power by Elle Kenton. Now, notice the two vastly different descriptions of menopause. Which do you prefer? I know which one I prefer. I prefer to see menopause as that transition, as that stepping gateway into the wiser woman that I know I am, rather than seeing it as a medical condition that needs to be treated as such and treated with pharmaceutical drugs and, HRT, which is, in a lot of cases, horse urine and all that type of stuff, trying to override the body's natural processes. I think it's time that we started to reframe menopause and really openly talk more about menopause. Menopause is like a really big secret. And I know that even when I first started talking about this and I started going out into the world, I kind of didn't like saying the word menopause. It felt like something I kind of had to keep to myself. But then I thought, well, why? We talk about, being pregnant. It's a great time. We celebrate being pregnant. We celebrate giving birth. Why do we not celebrate transitioning into the wise woman that we are? Why do we not celebrate menopause? Why is the biggest secret that's ever really been held when it comes to women and their bodies and their changes in their hormones? We just don't talk about it. So I'd like to reframe menopause. I'd like to see it as a celebration. Yes, things will happen in your body, changes will happen in your body, but we know that when it comes to symptoms, that not all women experience symptoms to the same severity. Some women don't even experience symptoms at all. So it's not a given that you're going to get symptoms when you come to this stage of life. What is the difference? I think a lot of it is our belief systems around what happens when we reach menopause. For many of us, we grew up thinking that when we get to menopause, it's kind of the beginning of the end, that we'll become old. Our grandmothers really, when we look at it and go back to when you were, under 10, when you were 7 or 8, you look at your grandmother, they probably seemed old to you. They probably looked old. But in essence, they were probably only 45, 50. They're probably not that much older than you are right now. But there's a belief system that when we get to this stage of life that we become old. And in the past, when we used to have, shorter lifespans, maybe women were older, or they were getting old when they were getting to the 50, 55 state of life. But not anymore, because we live until, average lifespan for a woman is 88.8 years. So, it's not hard to live well past that if you're healthy and vital. So getting to 50, you're only halfway there. You've still got at least another 40, 45, maybe 50 years to go. So you're not old. And I think it's time we started to relook at that. And rather than seeing this stage of life as the beginning of the end, the time when our children leave or they become more independent, and for some women, their husbands and partners trade you in on a new model and whatever. It's like this isn't the end. This is the beginning. This is an exciting beginning, because this is a time when you can come into the truest version of yourself. This is when you can rediscover the dreams that you had when you were younger. Go back and find that young girl. Go back and find the girl who dreamt of being able to do anything before the world and society came in and put limitations on you, because she's still inside of you and she's still waiting to come out and meet the rest of the world. So go deep, and there's many ways that you can do this. You can journal this, you can meditate on this. Go back in and meet that young woman. Go back and meet that little girl and ask her, what has she got to say? Because it's time for her to celebrate. It's time for you to come into the wisdom of who you are and celebrate being a wise woman, a Marga woman, someone who is just so comfortable in her own skin that you don't need to worry about the way you look, the words you say, that you know that when you speak from your truth, you speak from a place of love, you're speaking words that someone needs to hear. And if someone takes offense to that, nothing to do with you. That's their problem. That's their issue. That's not yours. You speak your own truth. And, open your voice and let the world hear you. So that's it from me. I just really want to say that menopause is a time for celebration. It's not a time that we need to hide. It's not a time that we need to be secretive of. Even if you are experiencing some symptoms, that's okay. Don't hide the fact that it's a menopausal symptom, which in fact, if you've watched all of my own last videos, you'll know that's not really. It's more to do with adrenals and probably thyroid and liver and a few other things going on. But, be proud of the fact that you are now transitioning into your wise woman, your Marga woman stage of life. So that's it from me, and from my heart to yours, from the deepest part of my heart, infinite love and gratitude. Please stand up, be proud of who you are, and live the life that you were meant to live. Bye for now.